Hey there, Drawyah here, and welcome to Dovetail Games Train Sim World 6. It's been a long time, it's a long time since we started the Train Sim stream on this channel. And it's one that is both long overdue, and yeah, honestly, apologies to Dovetail Games for never showing this off as well. I mean, I was at the Dovetail Creators event a couple of years ago. We got to see the pre-release stuff of Train Sim World 5, which was fantastic. And of course, I dropped off streaming a little bit, fell apart. Well, I say fell apart. I just kind of dropped off a little bit, but I'll come back into it. And so with this stream, so our first look at Train Sim World 6, but for me, and another reason why I've come back, our first look at the all-new Great Western Express Remastered, the enhanced version of it. So back in 2018, I did a preview stream of the original Great Western Express for Train Sim Worlds. Well, the OG one back in the day, so it was originally CSX Heavy Haul before the Great Western Railway became the first official DLC release, London Paddington to Reading. And it was kind of the start of that little showcase relationship with Dovetail Games all these years ago, 8 years ago. And yeah, so I've always stayed in touch with them, they've always sent me all the pre-release stuff, but I've never really properly showed it off, so it's about time I sat down, I got in Train Sim World, and today an early look at the all-new Great Western Express. I'm excited for it. It's a route that, to this day, I still say is one of my favourites, if not my number one favourite, because it's everything. It's not the longest route in the world, it's London to Reading, it's about half hour by express train, but it's got a mix of your local commuter services, your high-speed trains, you've now got the Heathrow Express on this route, freight. It's just intermodal. Wish a few more branches like they extended to Greenfield or Heathrow, but it's always been one of my favourites, and it's always good to, well, finally come back and actually have a look at it properly. So we'll jump straight into things with the Great Western Express 2017 timetable. 16 is your OG Great Western Express, 17 is your fancy updates one. I can see already a whole load of trains new to this pack. So for example, you've got the cross-country Voyager, which was out of Reading, the 802 from the Penzance line, which of course now runs out of Paddington, the 484, okay, interesting. This is the Districts line that runs out of Hammersmith City, which doesn't really make sense. Okay, yeah, it runs as a Districts line, so it's an underground train that runs on the underground lines. For example, you'll see when we get to Ealing Broadway, we get the Bakerloo line trains, the 1972 stocks, 73 is picked, 72 stocks that run out of Ealing Broadway's Central line, so it's substituting underground trains throughout. But then of course you've got some of my favourite trains. You've got the Class 166 networker, you've got the HST Class 43 classic British, a few of them left in Scotland now, but not many at this day and age, that's for sure. And the Class 350 acting as Heathrow Connect. Heathrow Connect being the predecessor for the Elizabeth line, although I will talk about each unit and each train individually when we actually do a few runs. So first things first, you know what? Oh, do I go HST? I'll go HST. We'll go for the classic. Trains, of course, you've got your current Great Western Railway livery, the green. Also, you've now got the first Great Western colours, the our blue and yellow. Tell you what, we'll run in the blue and yellow. Out of Paddington into Reading. I'll do the morning Cardiff Central service. Let's get started. Of course, there's also conductor mode as well, so you can ride as the guard on the train, checking tickets and dispatching. But we're in Train Sim, we gotta drive these trains, don't we? So let's load on up and let's take our first look at the Great Western Remaster. So let's see, officially comes out tomorrow. Thank you again, Dovetail, for the early access previews that I get to do on this channel. So officially comes out tomorrow. It's available on all platforms, so PC, Xbox, PlayStation, all your favourite stores. And yeah, jump right in and see what the remaster looks like. Going back to my original streams back in 2018, I'll never forget my first run in the 166, where I opened the doors on the wrong side. Whoops a daisy. There we go. Welcome to London Paddington. Actually, I wonder if they've also remodeled the station. I know they've rearranged the platforms here at Paddington a few years ago. Alright, master key set, train to forward. It's going to be separate brake and throttle. On the right hand side. GSMR, test OK. I don't know if actually will do anything. Some routes GSMR does actually work. Has a bit of feature to it. I think this one's just going to be pretty standard. Yeah, contact signal if I need to or anything like that, but all pretty standard. Still looks gorgeous. Train sim on this site. Beautiful, beautiful sim this. Not sure what happened to the artifacts in there. So the headlights probably important for this train. Headlights are over on the left. Daytime, please. None of this is we need at the moment. Activate the safety features and train departs in about 1 minute. So if I were to quickly pop over to this end of the station, probably best to use FreeCam. Yeah, so they're still using the old Paddington layouts. For example, you can see where platform 12 is. Platform no, platform 13 doesn't exist anymore because they've extended the platform, matched up with that one, and yeah, so it's a slightly different platform layout to modern day. They rebuilt it a few years ago. See Great Western 166 coming in now to Paddington. And so 2017 when this is now set. It's an era, it's very mixed. You've got the last days of the networkers in London, minus the Greenford branch and a few other branches locally, and the HSTs, which are slowly at this point being replaced with the IETs, Class 800 trains, and also the what do you call them, the Electra Stars, which then run the mid-range services out of London. Alright, the right-hand doors, of course in reality doors are controlled by the conductor on the train, so we should have to use the side menu for that. Let's get some throttle in. Next stop, Reading. So it's going to be express service, no stops, not the Slough stop I know does exist. We're just going to run straight through to the end.
Reading. This is a Great Western Railways service to Cardiff Central.
Why you know likey? We're in forwards, keys unlocked, brakes are released. There we go. Notice there as well, on-train announcements, so all trains do have onboard announcements as you run. When we get into the network and we do a local service, we'll get to listen to that a little bit more. We're going to have a parallel run with the 160 to our right there as well. And so in terms of the route itself, all the stations are the same, so it's still London to Reading, with intermediate stops. There's no Greenford branch, no Heathrow. But you'll see as we continue out of London, there'll be a lot of updates to stations, building models, bridges. The siding and heritage depot at Southall, that's been completely reworked. That's absolutely amazing. It's basically what they've done is taken the old routes, they've rebuilt a lot of the little details, make it look a lot better, and then slap on a more modern timetable, more services, more trains. We'll see if we try and spot an underground train on the right hand side as we're leaving. If not, we should spot one at Ealing Broadway. A little bouncy there, I remember the old HST. And of course, as a railway worker myself, albeit not Great Western Railway, it's just nice to showcase a little bit more of what I know from a more local standpoint. Once we leave, there's no trains ahead of us. The network there is going to stay on the local lines, so I'm expecting green signals pretty much all the way through to Reading. So no branding on these trains. The first Great Western trains, the blue and yellow, they will remain unbranded purely because the licensing for the old liveries and the old, I said the old TOC. I mean, it's still first Great Western Railway, but different organisations slightly running at the top. So as I said, these older trains won't feature any liveries or brandings. The modern green liveries will still show their GWR. But it's just nice to see a bit of love to this route. Just, again, a bit of updates, a few changes here and there. Just keep it modern, keep it nice. Of course, different train types now available in the sim. So we're on a Heathrow Connect service later on. That's the predecessors to the predecessors to TfL Rail, which then became the Elizabeth line. Which we're still blowing through 50. Don't cross over these points too fast. So very shortly we'll be passing through Ardo Common. Train on the right there should at some point be pulling into Ealing Broadway, which isn't too far ahead if I see that. Crossover junction above us now. That's going to be leading to, I believe, the West London line. West London line, or is that the new one they're going to convert to an overground routes? That's the one that goes from what's it called? The new station on the Thameslink line. Brent Cross West down to crosses the river. I think it's Clapham Junction. So you got a few overground routes that go overhead. Vorsden Junction above us as well shortly. So passing through, now going then to Ardo Common. A lot of the old buildings here since demolished make way for the new HS2 station. And all the buildings over there, you can see them are massive, but all the buildings over there in the distance. Yeah, let's say that all got demolished, all to make way for the new station. There's about 35 miles of track. First station will pass through Abbey and not stop at Acton Main Line. So this is still pre-Elizabeth line. This is still pre the Crossrail section of track coming through. And so stations like Hanwell still only see like 2-3 trains a day. It's only much later on that we see a lot of the upgrades to this part of the line, but I can imagine if we have got full Crossrail routes in Train Sim Worlds, yeah, it'd be a bit more than just an upgrade to the Great Western Railway. So it's still pre-2020, still pre-Elizabeth line, but this is a part of the time where things are really starting to progress. There's Acton Main Line now, things are starting to roll on, so the overhead electrification is pretty much finished now to Reading. The underpass here has not yet been constructed, so the underpass that allows the local trains to go underneath the freight yards to allow trains to leave and enter without crossing. Connection into Paddington is under construction, but it's not open yet. But we have got Heathrow Connect. I believe it was 2018 we saw the changeover from Heathrow Connect to TfL Rail, which of course 2021 then became the Elizabeth line. Union Broadway to our right hand side. Greenford service coming in shortly. So that was one we were just driving past earlier. So Greenford, that one goes up to West Ealing, or diverting its own little branch to the north. Nowadays, of course, no longer runs into Paddington, apart from the very first and very last train of the day, except on Saturdays, but that's now run as a battery train. Freight train on the right. So yeah, West Ealing. This train will be passing through without branching off. So West Ealing, branches off to the north, runs up through to Greenford, connects up with the London Underground Central line, and also slightly beyond that, you then hit the new Northolt Acton main line, which is where the old Parliamentary Chiltern service used to run back in the day. So it ran from West Ealing or South, West Ruislip or South Ruislip, down to Greenford, before turning around and going back up north again, now replaced by a replacement bus on a Wednesday, about 11 AM. We're passing shortly through Hanwell. Station that before the Crossrail, before the Elizabeth line, basically never saw a service until far more recent years. Yeah, I'm not really putting much in the way of input every yes, I'm not putting much in the way of input, so every minute or so the driver safety device DS will start beeping at me, just so I get a bit of a response in. So kick the foot pedal, just allows the train to know that I'm still awake. So passing through Southall now. I don't know if they've got signage in Punjab here as well. So I know Southall station has the signage in both languages. They do. They have got the signage in both languages. Station model looking pretty good. And then over there, probably better when we look at the commuter line that stops everywhere. We'll have a look at the new depots and sidings there at Southall. One of the heritage railway companies operate out of it. I can't remember which one it is, what they're called. But if you're ever on an early morning train, that's a signal. That's going to tell me... No, it's still green. Yeah, if you get an early morning service, like 4:35 AM, you will sometimes see a steam train being prepped on the sidings. Now passing through Hayes and Harlington. The station has been completely rebuilt since the introduction of the Elizabeth line. So the platform's now extended all to 12-car length. New station building, that one on the right, up above right there, is no longer in use. The whole approach has been redone. It's a fancy new station building, which does look rather good. Over to Heathrow Junction. This is where the Heathrow Connect service, Heathrow Express, Elizabeth line will then branch off to reach Heathrow's terminals 2, 3, 4 and 5. That'll curve off to the left. As we very shortly then make our way towards West Drayton. So the train models themselves are still pretty much as they were back in the original 2018 release, albeit with physics updates, texture updates. So physically it's still the same, but in terms of how they drive, how they look, just some small little details to upgrade them for the modern era. I know HST's appeared in a few different routes since release, so it appears on the Penzance line, the Riviera, appears on the East Midland Railway as well. That's what Straits, which just passed behind us. Former branch up to Uxbridge, doesn't exist anymore. The Class 166 hasn't really branched out into too many different routes on the train sim world. Although I have noted that the 166 does now have its 165 counterparts as part of the Southern as well. The 165 is now what runs most of the London regional routes, so it's going to be the Greenford branch. You've got the Maidenhead to the Marlow Donkey. You've got Twyford line as well, so all the branch lines out of London are now predominantly run by 165. The 166 long displaced and now run majority out of Bristol, Temple Meads. And also you've got the branch into Gatwick Airport as well, Reading to Gatwick on the Great Western Railway. So past the M25 now, we're outside London. Next station for us to pass through Iver and Langley. Right, we're going to throw it down a little bit, so it's going above the 125 there. We'll make good time. but ideally I want to drive a bit safer. Langley on the right. Now some services do stop at Slough, on our occasion we're not, we're going to run through. It's actually another one that's run by 165 down to Windsor and Eton Central. Riverside is South West trains, Eton Central is Great Western Railway. You see for now, a lot of the AI services still running the old HSTs and turbos. But when we start running the other trains on the routes, you'll see the more modern fleets as we run our services. So we've got 18 miles to go. Whoops. $80 miles to go to hit Reading. Increase speed a little bit. Great Western now on the right, holding at a red signal, which probably means service currently at the platform. But already you can tell from the original Great Western release, there's a lot more services, a lot more AI going on involved. So another one part in there. On the left, straight out to Windsor coming up now. It's just there's a lot busier the track, a lot more going on. There you go. So the overhead scenery at this point is still under construction. Next station passing through Burnham and Taplow. And Maidenhead's another station that some services stop at, but it's not many. I've actually been on the main train that stops at Maidenhead a few years ago now, actually. I think that's purely down to the fact that the station was currently being rebuilt for the Elizabeth line, and therefore they only has the two fast platforms open, the slow platforms, and the donkey line were all shut. The donkey line, Marlow Donkey. We'll hit Maidenhead, Twyford, and then start the approach into Reading. Last time I was at Reading, Great Western Railway service, but it was one of those that left out of Euston. So I was doing the engineering works at Ealing Broadway. I need to get to Reading to go see someone, and then yeah, ended up having to go to. It was after work, got myself up to Euston. Almost went to Paddington, then I remembered, hang on a minute, no, not running there today. I went up to Euston, and then crossed down the Willesden route into behind West Ealing, or sorry, behind Axon Main Line, but then continuing on the Great Western Railway. Going uphill a little bit, increase throttle, just get speed back up again. So just past the River Thames there. And we'll shortly be arriving at, or shortly passing through Maidenhead. Station I used to frequent a few years ago. It's been a few years since I last went through here, but if you go back onto the channel back in the day, years and years ago, there's an old stream of me train spotting at like 10 PM in the middle of Maidenhead. Late at night, I'd just missed the train, so like an hour to the next one, so I thought, okay, nothing else to do, let's just get the camera out and just film around a little bit. On the right, a few construction sites there, that's all going to be for the Elizabeth Line's sidings there. So a 10-car train, you've got the 2 power cars front and rear, 8 passenger carriages in between. So at this point, it's now we've got to start keeping ourselves. Where I said I'd change the physics now, I've noticed, so compared to when the sim first release, especially in the 166, the brakes ain't as strong as they used to be, so you do end up rolling a little bit more than you used to. And so it's just a case of balancing out the old driving sneeze physics. Of course, I still play these games in my own time, so I've been gone for a year, but I still play train sim, I still play flight sim, I still play all the basics with my mates. And so yeah, it's just a case of, oh yeah, I mean I know how these are handled now, but I never forget my first time, especially in the 166 when I first drove it. Did a short route out of Hayes and Harlington to Paddington, got to Southall first stop, and then I just realised, hang on a minute, I'm on full braking here. This ain't slowed down at all. So took some adjustments, but it's not too bad. Of course, working around myself, I've had to go on our own company train simulators as well. Got some tips from a driver training manager. Just be like, oh yeah, so this is how you do this is how you do that. Stopping at red signals, always leave at least one car length ahead of you. Braking, always when you come to the final stop, braking notch 1. Never use more than that. A bit bouncy over the points there. There you go, we're now in a bit of an open area now. You can see just a bit more. The lighting's been updated, the sky, the clouds. If I set weather dynamic for later on, maybe I'll get an idea of how everything looks with the skies changing. But yeah, it's been a fair few tweaks. Just AWS there. DSD, sorry. Yeah, just small little tweaks to make the sim look a bit nicer, feel a bit nicer. Well, I'm definitely at the throttle now because we will be slowing down shortly, passing through Twyford. So it's 5 miles to go. Speed limits will change in the next few moments. So we'll leave the train. We'll give it some throttle just so we're not slowing down too much. But just gentle, gradual slow down. Still 4 minutes, so 4 miles to go, 4 minutes on the clock. So we're running majority of this last bit at about 60 miles per hour above. It's platform number 9 into Reading for this one. Right, AWS, speed limit it was a speed limit drop there, but I must admit it missed what the number was. We'll try down to 100s. Just keeping an eye out for the speed limit sign once we hit it. We're 2 miles to go. Right, down to 80. So as you can see just above us there, the overhead scenery, the overhead wires still being put together here outside of Reading. On the left there, branch down towards Gatwick. the South West Trains route curve out from the west of this station. Yeah, go a little bit faster.
We are now approaching Reading. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down from the train.
So try and enter the station at around 20 to 30 miles per hour. Just bring it down to a gentle halt. In this case, it's just going to be the all-car stop mark at the far end of the platform. Just give it a little bit more power, so don't stop too prematurely. I mean, we're still about a minute to go on the timetable, so it's not like we're going to be late on the arrival. There we go, so just lining up with that HST marker at the end there. That'll do. And of course the old Mark III carriages with the swing doors there. I don't think there are any left of the swing doors. Everything's now running with sliding doors, compartment doors. Where are you off to? We're going to be Dickop Parkway service. Yeah, so the old swing doors, you have to. There's no handle on the inside, only handle on the outside. You have to slide on the window to access the handle on the other side to get in and out of the train. It's all started snowing. It has started snowing. Don't think it'll be that cold just yet. Yeah. Right, lock the doors, and then bring the scenario to a close. So overall, bright speed limit on one occasion there. Got a penalty for that. So lost 97 points there. Otherwise, distance driven 5,005 points. This point's not anything by distance. Overall, just yeah, one little speeding bit there. Otherwise, pretty decent. Came in on time. Platinum medal. I shall take that. Level 139 on the profile now. Right, let's go back to the timetable. Let's give ourselves a local service to run. So the local service does take about an hour start to finish. We'll run that back to Paddington, and then we'll do a Heathrow service. Well, actually, tell you what, before we do the full run back, let's do a London Underground service. Why not? So we'll hop in the 484 in London Underground colours, and then we'll do a short run from Hammersmith to Barking. Let's try to pick a midday service. Hammersmith to Barking. There you go. So essentially, three stops. Westbourne Park, Royal and Paddington. But why not? Just let's say a quick little run, 2 stops, just to tick it off that we've done an underground route. And so this is using the class 484 off of the Islands Line routes, the Isle of Wight. Some rides to ride pier to Canary Wharf. It terminates the old Island Line. If not a route I've been in too often, so what we need to set up. This is going to be the master key unlocked. Train to forward. Headlights are set. Doors are released on the left. Door release. Unless there we go. Yeah, safety system isolated. Of course, the undergrounds don't have your traditional safety systems. But there you go. It's it's a London Underground D stock in London Underground colours on the official Dovetail route out of Paddington, or into Paddington in this case. So, Westbourne Park, Royal Oak, and Paddington. Westbourne Park used to have its own mainline platforms in the middle here. You can see where the track's a little bit wider. But those were removed in the 90s. There's a music video. I can't remember the music video. There is a music video that the platforms do feature on. That is quite loud, I must admit. Cab door. Passenger doors. Yeah, it has closed, just been a bit slow. Yeah, there is a music video that they are features in. Maybe one of you guys in the chat will be able to find it. It's a noisy old train, this I will say. Should probably actually double check my OBS. Is that actually picking me up? Yeah, it's still picking me up okay. Yeah, probably should use the whistle over the horn. So now going underneath the mainline crossover. Originally, when the Great Western Railway was first built, and you had the connection to the main line to Hammersmith, the tracks or trains you'd have to cross the entire main line to get to the other side, which of course meant delays and backlog services, which ultimately lends to the creation of this underpass going through now. Try my best to keep the train around 30 miles per hour, but it is a bit it's a bit tricky with the grades of this track. The next station is Royal Oak. So I believe we are running with a 7-car formation. I'll count that once we've stopped. Well, there goes the stop marker. Oh, not a not a good stop by any means. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's right. So we're running a 6-car train. Oh, so loud. They're just so loud. But you can see with them running the modern trains in the route, you also get the modern trains in the timetable as well. Oh, that was a disaster. Go on, let's just get to Paddington and get it over and done with. Yeah, all the sounds of 484 units. Let's say what I would love to have seen is an extension up to Greenford, where these trains do actually operate now on Saturdays. The battery train started about a week ago in real life. So yeah, I'd love to see an extension up to Greenford where we can actually get to run these services. But yeah, that's just a little addition. It's an underground train, it's an AI underground service that you get to see run in the real life. And so I can imagine it's not really so much for us to drive, but more there for eye candy, more for us to look at when we run our own services. We're going to overshoot this one as well, aren't we? Yep. Well, that was a disaster. Alright, allow passengers to disembark and then head back to the main menu, so this one needs to be 59. Oh, here comes another one. So they are frequent, these services. Somehow that was a platinum medal. I missed both stops, sped 100 times, but platinum. Alright, let's go back to the timetable and forget that ever happened. But no, the Central Line units, the Bakerloo Line units out of Eden Broadway, those aren't on the timetable. Those aren't ones you can drive. But you never know, we could see a full circle line on Train Sim Worlds. Little throwback to one of the subways right there. Right, let's go for the 166. Or do I go for a 165? Ooh, 165 2 car. 165 3. You know what? Let's go into 165. Is that green? I want a green one. There we go. 3 car Great Western Express 165. And let's do a service from Reading. Just a late afternoon one from Reading to London Paddington. That's about an hour. Yeah, go on. Off to Paddington, do it. Right, there's the driver. Let the game load up, and let's run the service back to London. So, calling pattern will be basically every single stop. So, Twyford, Maidenhead, Taplow, Burnham, Slough, Langley, Ivor, Hayes and Harlington, Southall. Then I don't know if we're going to make. Whoops! Don't know if we're going to make the stops at Hanwell or West Ealing. We'll do Ealing Broadway, Acton Main Line. We'll see. So yeah, once we get into London itself, the stops get a little bit mix and match. But we'll set up the cab and then we'll have a look at the route from there. So that's initial. That's fine. Unlock doors right hand side. So, Twyford, Maidenhead, Slough, Langley, Ivor, West Drayton, Hayes and Harlington, Southall, Ealing Broadway, London Paddington. Yeah, so we skip all the smaller stops on the way into London. So we're in our class 165, once again just turn the headlights on. The main difference between a Great Western 165 and a Chiltern Railway 165 is that the Chiltern ones no longer have the windows that open. The Chiltern ones got patched up a few years ago and they fitted air conditioning. Otherwise, there ain't too much different between these services, or these units. I must admit, I don't really know what the difference between a 165 and 166 is, just that they are separate subclasses. I think it's down to the engine. It's down to the engine, the power output of these units. So the 166 units are a bit faster and have a slightly more powerful engine on board. But it's all part of the network family, so the 165, 166, the 365, 465 and 466 will make up the network family of trains. Of course, the 365 got retired a few years ago now on the Great Northern Route. The 466 Southeastern, those are very few remaining now. A lot of them have been sent out for storage and some for scrap. 465's still going strong with the tender and process to replace them by the end of the decade. And the 166 and 165s both looking very strong at the moment. I mean, Chiltern Railway says they have no intention to replace them at any points. They just picked up the new Mark 5 units. And then as for Great Western Railway, what used to run out in and out of London, which is one of these routes we're doing now, long since replaced with Electrostars, but then since relocated down to Bristol, with the service, a few 165 units still lingering around London, and then they're all based at Reading Train Depot, just behind us now. Right, next stop, Twyford. You can spot HST on the right hand side there. So departure time to us.
Twyford. This is a Great Western Railway service to London Paddington.
Of course, the audio on these trains in London that got reworked a couple of years ago by Dovetail Games. So these trains do sound pretty good as well. And when they first released, they're good sounds, but they weren't quite. The levels a bit off. I know some parts of the sound was just really, really quiet. You just couldn't hear anything. So yeah, Dovetail have since tweaked a lot of the audio of the 165, the 166 units. And they do sound rather good now, especially from the interior. I do have to ride on an old Chiltern unit every so often, and yeah, the sounds are pretty spot on to real life. So keep it going for now. First stop, Twyford. This is about an hour or so from start to finish, so we should be arriving into Paddington shortly after 5 o'clock. There you go, 2 minutes past 5. And so these units themselves are limited to 90 miles per hour, with max speed set to 90 miles per hour. Which means you can pretty much full throttle it all the way into London, bar of course stops at stations. And it's only once we start passing Southall do you start seeing a real slowdown on the speed limits for this part of the route. The HST unit coming the other way. So I've noticed with the Great Western Remaster so far is that if you're running in one of the older units that this game already came with, then you're pretty much stuck to the old train sets. But if you ride one of the newer trains available, so say you got the London Underground 484, the 350 Heathrow Connect service, from one of the Class 800s. If you ride one of those, then you get the full set of services. So once again, for those of you that haven't driven the Great Western Express route since the release of Train Sim Worlds, or since it first came out a few years ago and haven't run it since, I want to say it was 2024, they did a lot of reworking of the physics of these trains, so a good 2 years ago now. Deeply prepared, the braking isn't quite as strong as it used to be. Not sure what I did with the underground train there, that was a bit of an embarrassment, but yeah, the trains do brake decent, but it's more of an adjustment. You got to just learn the new biting point for these brakes. So up to 80 miles per hour now. Cut the throttle. So we are going downhill at this point, but we will allow the train to naturally slow down a little bit as we hit this mile into Twyford. It's about these magnets here. We want to start thinking about braking. So you can just about make out station building distance over there, the footbridge and the lifting stairs down to the mainline platforms. Which again, these days don't see much use outside of engineering works when trains divert onto the fast lines, or if you get some of the early morning services before the Elizabeth line opens up at 6 AM. Some of the early morning Great Western services do stick to the main line, the fast line, on their trips in and out of Paddington.
We are now approaching Twyford. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down from the train.
Yeah, probably brakes a little bit too early there. I'm going to lose a little bit of time in Twyford, but should hopefully catch some of that up once we hit Maidenhead. First stop Twyford.
This is Twyford. Do not try to... West Drayton, Palit, Southall, Ealing Broadway and London Paddington.
So yeah, little details like that, just the station announcements, the onboard
This
announcements,
is the Great Western Railways service to London Paddington.
like that one there. Just small little details like that, just add a bit of life to the sim. I mean, we're on what, Train Squad 6 now, so yeah, we're a fair few releases into the Train Sim Worldscape. So I remember when the original CSS Heavy Hawk first came out. You're limited to the Sandpatch graded routes, the old US freight. So I'll keep powering down towards Paddington now. Next station for us will be Maidenhead. And so with this service, as we continue towards London, one thing we'll definitely have a look at close to some of the stations that have been revamped. So for example, Ealing Broadway got reworked, the new underground platforms. So you've got the sidings at Southall's have been redone. So all the stations are still set in their 2017 pre-Crossrail era, so you don't have any new stations. For example, West Ealing's got a new station building and platform. That doesn't feature yet in this game. Hazelhead's another job I said earlier, it's all been rebuilt, that's still using the old entrance. So in terms of entrances and anything built post 2019-2020, they don't yet feature in this route. Power running on the right there. They don't yet feature in this service, but anything pre-2018 has all been rebuilt. So let's look at earlier the Westbourne Park and Royal Oak stations. We might do another underground run later just so I can try and improve on whatever that was earlier on. Yeah, that's a terrible run, disaster of a run. Tell you what, we'll go back to Paddington, we'll do another Heathrow, we'll do another underground run quickly, then we'll do a Heathrow run before bringing things to an end with a freight service. So I don't think we'll do a full freight service, but just to run the 66 once more through the Great Western Main Line. But it's the full underground timetable, so all the services that you saw down that 484 district liney, D-stocky, undergroundy bit. That's based on the real timetable of trains that run in and out of Hammersmith towards the circle. And where in the original release of Great Western Express, we had, I think it was 900s. In the original release of Train Sim Great Western, it was 339 services. I got my notes here. 339 services, of which 97 were HSTs, 299 166s, and 13 66s. That's been up now to 4,674 services, of which 1,335 are playable. With layers to up to 23 other add-ons that are UK based in this sim. So that'll be mostly your freight services, your wagons, your hauls, Flying Scotsman, and the other steam train, the LMS class, both making a feature in this as well. Maybe we'll have a look at the Scotsman, we'll see. must admit, I'm not a massive Steam person to drive. Absolutely wrong on Steam as a passenger, but I will never fully understand. Speed down to 60. I'll never fully understand the intricacies of driving a steam train. It's just way too much for my little Peabody brain to understand. So it's going to get as slow as 60 miles per hour now. That's the main head station. I'll come into view in the background there. Oh, 75 because we were multiple units. 60 for loco horde, 75 for multiple units. We'll be quite on time to pay. I think we're going to lose a bit of time at every stop, but hey, we're here for the experience. I'm not a real life Great Western driver. I wish, but I'm not. Here we go. Main head coming into view now. I wonder if I spot the Abbey line, not Abbey line, the Milo Donkey line on the left there.
We are now approaching Maidenhead. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down from the train.
So once again, looking at, keep an eye open for that 3-car stop marker on the left.
This is Maidenhead. Do not try to board or leave the train. For the 1617 Great Western Railway service.
She's your Somax is on time because we made it within the minute. But yeah, departure time is still set for another, well, in about 5 seconds. Marlow, 2 coaches, 6040, so yeah, we've not. Yeah, we've just missed the train. A couple of minutes to go. So main head station itself, not one that has been changed. Although I wonder if they've still got the statue on the platform. Look for a bench. Ah, they don't have it. Okay. I can't remember the guy's name, but it's a statue of a guy who, during the Second World War, saved a lot of Jewish kids and brought them into the UK to escape all the atrocities happening out in Europe at the time. And so, yeah, they put Maidenhead's where he lived and where a lot of the kids ended up going to, and they put a statue in there of him a few years ago now to commemorate the events. Next station, not Twyford. Slough. So this part of the main line, stations are still fairly spread out. It's a good 6-7 miles per station. So once you hit Twyford, you guys can, yeah, because we're not yeah, second station south. So you are skipping 2 stops. You are going to skip Taplow and Burnham. But once you go through Slough, was there red lights? There was white lights. Just the model spawning in for the distance. What was it? 1, 2, 3. It's 3 plus 3, 6-car train. Yeah, so let's get Slough. That's when I think we then start hitting some of the closer stops. So we do stop at Langley, Either stop up. We are in either stop up, and then West Drayton, Hayes, Southall. So timing wise, they should get a lot closer together. The midpoint for us will be Langley once we leave there. I have 32. Again, 4 miles from Slough, arrival time in about just under 4 minutes. As long as we're averaging above 60 miles per hour, we should be able to match up with the time. But yeah, you can see so all the foliage has been redone, the line side greenery, the fencing, just small details, all redone. Nice little sunset in the background as well. Just looks really nice. And the HST on the right there. Little mix and match livery there, the old first Great Western with the Great Western green. Because it's not been that long. So all the train exteriors got finished Great Western Railway in about 2020, 2021 when everything became green. But the interior certainly. I know Great Western running 165s with the old first Great Western seats until well into about 2023, I want to say, maybe even 24. So it's all green now, but for a long time they still ran the old network as the blue seats. Very comfy seats. The new ones, they're okay actually. They're not the worst modern train seats. Not quite as well padded, but yeah, they still ran the blue for a fair little while after the franchise got rebranded. So about 2 miles to Slough now. Probably worth actually slowing down now. Just for that scenery. We're approaching Slough. Don't be going through it at full blast.
We are now approaching Slough. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down from the train.
Yeah, 35 miles per hour would be fine, so just coasting to the start of the platform. We do go fairly far down the platform at Maidenhead. They are at Slough. They are, so we'll need to try and aim for a further stop here. You can see this is full service braking, not quite as strong as they used to be. Oh, this is pre-model Slough, sorry. This is no, sorry, the platform ends here. Modern Slough, yeah, they've extended the platform so he doesn't be flying, but I forget. This is where they where it ended back in the day.
Do not try to board.
I believe they've still got the bay platform here, but I don't think gets used too regularly, even in modern times. I know the Hayes and Harlington one, they have a few early morning services and this one that terminates there and leave. And on occasion, disruption, they'll park trains there for the night. But yeah, it's not a platform that gets too regularly used. Alright, so on-time departure. It's good to see. Yeah, they're lovely units to networkers. Probably one of my favourites on the British Rail side of things. Comfy interiors. I just love the shape of them, the rounded fronts. They are gorgeous, gorgeous trains. And they do look good in Great Western Green. I know with the Chiltern Blue, they still, from a side point of view at the very least, still pretty much follow one-to-one the old Network South East colours. Even if you went to the pre-rebranding where they had the old red strips at the bottom of them as well. That was basically one-for-one Network South East. So, yeah, the Chiltern ones do look very similar to their traditional colours, but they do look good in green. And even if you go back into Great Western's history, these services which would have been Thames trains back in the day. I believe they're first group as well, but Thames trains and Great Western used to be two separate franchises, which then got amalgamated into one many, many, many years ago. Thames trains again, similar to the Chiltern livery, but they had a few green trim marks kind of on the colours. So by the front of the train, a bit of green and red and pink, and it's a more colourful Chiltern. That's how I saw it when I was younger. So next station will be Langley. It's not too far between stops. It's only a mile between these two stops now. Stations get a bit closer together as the service continues. Another network to the right there. First Great Western Blue. Signal here. Again, you just see the footbridge at the station slowly appearing in the background. Freight service on the right there. So again, even freight services, there are more freight services, more timetables for those. Just overall, just more for you to play with on the old remaster. It's full service brakes, and I'm actually starting to fear now. We're not gonna. We've blown the marker there. 4 to 6. God, these brakes. Nothing. It's a little further down the platform than I'd like, but we'll take it. We're on the platform this time.
London Paddington, calling at either West Drayton, Palit, Southall, Ealing Broadway, and London Paddington. Please be aware that opportunist thieves operate at this station and across the railway network. Do not become a victim of crime. Please also note that in the interests of safety, cycling, skateboarding.
So we are a couple of minutes ahead of service.
Anywhere on the station.
Any services coming through Express? Yeah, the map looks good, but I've always found it a bit glitchy when you want to kind of read the information. Yeah. Let's have a look at the departure screens. So, we've got a train coming in at 16:53. So, okay, it's about 20 minutes to the next train anyway. Right, lock the doors. Let's get out of here. Next stop, either.
The next station is Either. This is a Great Western Railway service to London Paddington.
So once again, only about a mile or so of track between this next station, either to West Drayton about a mile, West Drayton to Hayes and about a mile and a half, Hayes and Harlington Southall, again about a mile. It's between either and West Drayton, or then cross the M25 and reach into London. Whoops.
We are now approaching Either. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
Might want to think about slowing down. No, we never quite got to full speed anyway, so it's not like we're going to be too fast shooting through here. Yeah, pre-Elizabeth line platforms here are fairly short. I believe they'll get 8 car trains. The slow lines of the Great Western Main Line. I know Hayes and Harlington, the platform lengths were virtually doubled when they started expanding that station. Again, I remember well. Again, go back to when I was going to Maidenhead. So Hayes and Harlington was the station I used to board at back in the day. And yeah, I remember when they closed the slow lines to build to extend the platforms up, they had all the fancy machinery out.
This is a direct service to London Paddington, calling at West Drayton, Palit.
And HST passing on the fast line in seconds. Stores, enter London. Now we're pretty much in the second half of this trip. So you can see there's a bit more routes on the left hand side. I can't see my mouse. A bit more route on the left hand side outside of London, but of course stations are more spaced apart. It's only a short little bit of line within London, about 15 miles or so. And stations again far more frequent, a lot more going on. Oops. Up here, that's the M25. Not particularly fast on the M25 today, I will say. Don't worry, it'll be all traffic busy soon. What time is it? It's 4:30. The rush hour hasn't quite started yet. I'm sure once that starts, we'll be back to accrual. Oh, was that honk there? So, welcome to London. Let's keep the pace up, shall we? Yeah, so we won't stop at Weston on the way back. We'll be able to look at how the station looks before the rebuild. But I believe when we drive the Heathrow Connect service, that will be a station we can take a closer look at on the way in. Because all the way up to Heathrow, that was electrified back in the 19...
We are now approaching West Drayton. Please mind.
I'll say 1998. That line, that part of the line got electrified. That was one of the first bits to get electrified. Purely for the old Heathrow Express as that been put together. And it was only in the early 2010s the actual Great Western electrification project started, which initially saw it go up to Maidenhead, into Reading. Then it kind of paused for a little bit before slowly crawling our way up to Bristol, Temple Meads. It's still very much ongoing. It's not been the quickest project ever, but the majority of the main line across the west of England has been done, although it's not quite all the way down to Penzance yet. So a lot of Cornwall still under diesel operation. These brakes are something else. Okay, 4 to 6 marker, I guess that'll have to do.
This is West Drayton. 1626. Great Western Railways.
How many cars is you? 1, 2, 3, 4. You're a 6 car made of 2 cars. Interesting. Platforms though are staggered here at West Drayton, considering why that train looks a bit further up. So that's sparking. If you look up this side, you obviously have remnants. Here we go. So yeah, so the line used to go a bit more this way, continue onwards by the canal, then brush off to the right, and that used to be the line up to Uxbridge, which got closed in the late 1950s. Bit of a misfire on the acceleration there. The other train, full downfall. Alright, should really focus on my train if we're hitting the AWS beacons now. Speed drops down to 70 on the crossover. That's not us. But we are now hitting Hayes. So Hayes, Southall, speed limits do start to reduce a little bit on the last part of this journey. So very shortly, Heathrow Junction will come into view. It's showing that we can't actually run on Heathrow Junction, so we've got the Heathrow Connect line, but those services we can go as far as Hayes and Harlington. It's the one pitfall from this route. It's a route that I say I absolutely adore. It's a line that I'm familiar with, trains that I'm familiar with. It's probably my favourite route in Trainsim World, but I just wish they went that little bit further to tell the branches. Just give us a bit of Greenford, a bit of Heathrow. Heathrow is mostly tunnel, like it wouldn't be that much to add on, but I get it. They are working to timelines, deadlines, and then we'll get the bit of the route they got right. And so yeah, so I get it. I get why some of the junctions and the branches haven't been added. Not to mention, this is a free upgrade for people, so if you're already on Great Western Express, then there's no extra cost to you. This will be a free upgrade once it does release tomorrow. And again, I just love seeing a bit of love given back to this route. It was the original release on Trainsim World, still by far my favourite release on Trainsim World. I wish they'd do a bit more than networkers. We've got the 465 in Train Sim World's South Eastern high speeds. When they extended that up to Dartford, that was another nice route extension that I really liked. You got the 165s now. Hopefully, might see a Chiltern route. That's what I'd love to see at some point as well, because High Wycombe and the Chiltern Hills around there are gorgeous to look at. When everyone goes up to Birmingham, I must admit I do sometimes find myself riding the Chiltern as opposed to the Avanti or the London North Western, just because you get a bit of scenery on the way in. Also, half as busy. Nobody knows about Marylebone. Nobody knows about the route up to Birmingham Moor Street, which really is just across the road from New Street. So, yeah, it's a bit slower, but I find it a much nicer line. Hayes and Harlington announcing.
London Paddington, calling at Southall, Ealing Broadway, and London Paddington.
Yeah, this is a station that's completely been redone with the Elizabeth line, so there's no more. We've got a fast train passing through as well. No more turbos apart from one service in the morning and one service in the evening, which is the train that forms the Greenford shuttle. At least running at like 4 AM and then returns at like 8 PM or 9 PM back to Reading. Yeah, platforms extended, station rebuilt. So if I go back outside, I know that these steps here have been removed. There's a new footbridge here, and this side road here has been turned into like a new, well, into the main entrance and the concourse area of the station. Footbridge chopped off there. That bit doesn't exist. Yeah, Hayes has been completely redeveloped with the Elizabeth line. The bay platform still exists. I think in all my years of going through Hayes, I've only ever seen one train use it. Maybe two. It's not often. But yeah, this is going back a good few years ago now, so I don't frequent Maidenhead too much these days. Last time I went was probably about 3-4 years ago. There was a time I was going there at least once a week, if not every other week. So now coming through to Southall. So you limit down to, so it says at 90 miles per unit. Got the old Southall gasometer there. Used to have a similar one at Harrow, back in the day. To go back to the 1950s here, where a Pan Am 707 infamously landed at Northolt Airport as opposed to Heathrow. Added as a jet age, Northolt was London's main airport, but it soon became Heathrow once jet aircraft started and Heathrow could expand a lot more than the Northolt could at Ruislip. Aircraft coming in, spotted the gasometer, which of course they meant to spot the one at Heathrow, or the one in Southall for Heathrow. They spotted the one at Harrow for Northolt. And so use that as a reference point before making a land accidentally at Northolt. To get the aircraft back out again, they had to basically strip the aircraft down to its bare bones. So all the seats are removed, the interior is removed, minimum fuel, just hop it out of Northolt and then back into Heathrow. 1956, 58, I want to say. It's getting well before my time. It's just stories I've heard from locals at the Ruislip, at the old railway. Yeah, I'm not a real train driver, but I still drive little trains at the right supply to railway. Right, doors are released.
Western Railway service to
So, if we go this way a little bit, so you can see this entire yard area has been completely reworked. Before, they just used like the generic, like the depot buildings they had before in Train Sim. They've now completely rebuilt it to match the real life building. All the sidings that are all kind of overgrown and rotting away. If we peer down here, just everything that looks like building real life. We've got a few little workmen here at the end of the buffers. Yeah, too far for the horn. Yeah, carriage, little warehouse depot there for the carriages. So I can imagine the Scotsman mission in this route does start here at Southall. Does the clock actually match the time? The clock, so in-game time is now 4:15. Yeah, no, that is correct. We're about to hit 46. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's a slow moving one. There you go. So the clock is accurate to the times. So next station will be Ealing Broadway. And we'll go have a look at the underground platforms when we get there. Still 90 mile per hour limits. That will reduce as we get closer to Paddington in the next couple of stops. Mostly sidings at this point. Southall's a lot of storage for the. So you got Hayes Aggregate, which is behind us. I think this is an EWR siding here, just outside the main sidings out of Acton. It's more of a reception than a siding, really. Right, 2-ish miles to go then. There we go. So first proper slowdown there, 80 miles per hour. So Hanmar Station there, another one that was not so much completely rebuilt, but completely modernised to match a modern day service. Won a couple of awards as well. So when they fitted the lifts there, because it's a massively raised platform well above the ground below, yeah, won a few awards. So when they installed the lift and the footbridge and all the passenger safety features there, they did it in a way where it didn't disrupt the original style of the buildings. So it almost looks like it's been there for 100 years already, the old red brick. It's a gorgeous little station. You got, like, if you go to South in real life, you got like little hanging baskets, plants, old original benches, just small little details that does make the station a pleasure to just to sit in, really. Oop, that's West Ealing. On to Ealing Broadway. Carrying on. Swinging for a second. That looks a bit different. No, yeah, this is a station that's, again, none of this really exists anymore. The old staircase is there, the old station building, the platforms, none of that exists anymore. We're going to be behind at Broadway, but it's not the end of the world. Right, now we slow down. So underneath the building ahead of us, the Broadway Centre itself.
We are now approaching Ealing Broadway.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down from the train.
This is another station that's been completely rebuilt for the enhanced pack. And so before, the central line platforms kind of existed, but they weren't proper. The old dish line platforms, like one platform existed, but it mostly just led to a train sheds. Now it's all built up to match that of the real life Broadway station. Well, I might actually make the stop marker for once. My word, she stops correctly.
Ealing Broadway. Do not try to board the Great Western Railways.
There we go. So, Great Western slow platforms, fast platforms. Crossover here, we've got Central Line, complete with round-on branding. And over here, you've got the Dish Line platforms, including the little footbridge over here. And also, if you go to the back of the platform, the little crossover point behind the buffers as well. I think it's a little bridge in reality, I suppose, just a flat concrete base, but it does look rather good. Again, it's just little details like that which really bring the route to life. Ealing Broadway is a main stop on the Great Western Railway, especially on the Elizabeth line. It's just nice to see that little detail just added to it, bring it to life. This is very nicely done, little addition. And again, for a free upgrade, if you already own Great Western, honestly, you can't complain really.
For your safety, please be aware that some platforms at this station have no or only partial tactile paving on the platform edge. Once the train arrives, please mind the step of the platform onto.
So, next stop should be our final stop. Paddington. So we'll go out to Paddington. We'll do another run on the Underground Districts line, just see if I can try to get the stops a little bit better on that. Again, don't know how I got Platinum for the first run, but it was abysmal. And then we'll do a Heathrow Connect run. A quick look at Steam, and then we'll end it on a Class 66 freight up. So as we're leaving in Broadway, another little detail to notice as well is if we hop over to the Central Line tracks here, there you go, as it branches off. Continue further down, and you do also get to a station here, West Acton. Which, you got the platforms, you got the track, no signage. You get the stairs up to this house here, which is just a little modern build. But, yeah, there's a little extra, you never know if we ever see a Central Line extension to Great Western Express. Back into our cab, now passing through Acton Main Line. Station that has had a bit of a rebuild, but for the most part looks pretty similar to this layout. Track on the left there raises, that goes up towards Willesden, and eventually onto the West Coast Main Line. So when you take the diversion route out of Euston into Great Western, it's that track up there, sorry, camera's up the front, up there, which guides you up towards Great Western. It guides you up to West Coast Main Line. On the left, you've got the old Old Common depot. So all of this, long since knocked down. Over here, you've now just got a massive pit where the HS2 platforms will be. And over here, still got a lot of sidings, but that's majority now class 3, 4, 5 Elizabeth lines waiting to run in the morning. I just see sneaking out. The speed limit dropped down to 50, I believe. We're now, what, 2.5 miles from Paddington? So yeah, this is the last little final approach. A bit too slow, that. On the right, it's going to be the Hitachi depot, where the IET trains are maintained and repaired. So that a networker, yeah, a networker just being held at the side in there. So that's the. Is that held? Is that at the buffer? Oh no, yes. You're at the points there, so you're going to cross over. That's all single track. The entry and exit out of the depot there. So you're going to have to wait for the HST to exit before you can enter the station yourself. All right, 50 mile per hour limits. Next real landmark we're going to hit is Westbourne Park Station. And then it's platform number 14 at Paddington. So that is it 14 or 15 platforms at Paddington? Regardless, it's going to be the one that alongside the Hammersmith City line on the far north of the station. And on the left there, that's all the junction work leading to the Elizabeth line. So that was all crossrail works there. It's supposed to see this to go off there. I can see the signals only a yellow up ahead. So there we go. And then the red coming up just up ahead. We'll check the maps shortly on what's holding us. But yeah, left hand side, so that's all going to be crossrail works. Adjacent to us is the sidings where the trains that terminate at Paddington run out to for reversing back. If I go a bit further on, so you've got the underground that raises up here. It's all level running for a short period until we get to about here, where trains then start dipping underground to run onto the core tunnel. So you can see here, we've got a pipe exposed, they are digging a pit in the ground, and just, yeah, overall works for the Elizabeth line. No point going too much faster, since I don't actually know what's going to hold us up. Right, so waiting for this train here to exit, to Romeo 54, before we can continue on. So you're going to be, yeah, same track as us. That crossover there, I believe. Yeah, sorry, it's crossing. So it's a five car networker just making its way out now. Yeah, just visible. Up to a yellow aspect. Ooh, HST. That's the one from the side of the depot earlier. Nice little parallel run to bring the service to an end. So we'll get to Paddington. We'll do another quick run of the undergrounds. Have some City Line. See if we try and get the stops a little bit better this time. Then we'll do a run on the Hammersmith. Nope, run on the Heathrow Connect.
London Paddington.
Possibly a quick look at the steam trains before bringing things to a close on the Class 66 freighter. So we've got a couple more runs to go yet, so don't you worry. So 25 mile per hour entry into Paddington. Yeah, 14 is the farmhouse platform at Paddington Main, right next to the Paddington Underground, and yeah, about a half-mile walk to actually get to the entrances and exits. It's a fair trek getting now, 14 to the front. Not bad for the underground connection, especially if you want a Hammersmith branch. Then it's up, across, around, and out. And this train goes back towards Henley on Thames. Okay. That'll do.
Great Western Railway service to Penzance, calling at Reading, Taunton, Exeter, St David's, Newton Abbot.
So yeah, so decide this. If that seems the platform doesn't exist anymore, that wall's been knocked down. This has all been filled in, and then platform 12 got extended to run further out of the station. Because when they were redeveloping Paddington a few years ago, they turned out, why have one super short platform when you could have a proper platform that you could put a longer train running in and out of. So, how did that do? Got the medal, so we definitely lost a few points there. Speeding, we lost a few points speeding, nothing excessive. Stopping accuracy, yeah, definitely poor in some. We made all the platforms, but not great in some parts of the route, some stations. But yeah, even like I say, even now I'm still trying to just that balance of the 166 brakes aren't great. But I'll take it. I'll take that. Right, back to the timetable. Let's give the underground one more go, shall we? See if that experience on the 166 has helped. 165 even has helped us on the districts line. I say district line. It's Hammersmith City Line and Circle Line were all light line to Hammersmith, but of course we've got the 484 district line trains, so that's what we've ended up with for this part of the route. 484. So we'll start off at Paddington this time, so we'll do an Aldergate. We'll do a midday service. So we want Barking to Hammersmith, yeah, one at a time it's at Hammersmith. Going in the opposite direction. Some light clouds as well. Just mix and match the weather a little bit. Oh, I love the theme songs. The Train Sim World theme songs have always been great as well. Metro Rivals, and it's just little concepts there. I've seen a few videos of it, or the trailers at least of it. And there was a game years and years ago on PlayStation, which it's a button, like all those dancing games where you have to press the button at the right time to keep the train rushing. But it's an interesting concept. So we'll have a look at it later on when it gets closer to release. Right. And door release on the right, which I believe is on the right hand side, because of course in reality these trains are ridden by guards. And once I open this door, I believe, yeah, cab door open. Doors a little faster in real life than I remember them. And the sound on these trains, as I said earlier, they are loud for some reason. Very loud. Go through the interior, I see actual green bars. No seat maquette from the underground. Luggage rack there. I believe they are using carriages without toilets as well, so it's not like we're going to have random toilets appearing in the middle of our underground train. But it's just a nice little detail, it's a nice little extra. Right, let's take a seat. Let's prepare for departure. Next station, Royal Oak. And now, I just wonder if they got it right as well. As you can see, there's a 40 mph speed limit increase there. With the underground, speed limit's changed from the front of the train, not the rear of the train. So if that changes immediately... this doesn't... Oh wait, 25 did I say? Or was that 40? I've forgotten now. Well, in reality, the speed limit change... There you go, 40 now, so yeah, it's not the... not quite underground geared, this line. Because all underground trains are the same length, and therefore speed limits change at the front of the train or the rear of the train. Still slightly overshot. Not as bad as before, but still slightly overshot. And of course I have to go over here to press the release buttons. Mind the gap, please. Glad I got that as well. A little S7 bar there. Dispatch bats. Ah! And they're collectible as well. Yeah, I get it. It's a nice little extra. Departure all the way outside over there. So you've got Hammersmith, 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 train every 5 minutes. Aldgate, barking, Aldgate, barking. So it's train every 5 minutes on this branch, which does match that the real life timetable. Alright, next stop, Westbourne Park. Down the hill now, so we'll just let the train coast on neutral for a little bit. Just 30, hit the brakes. Because we've already got the Bakerloo line in full length on Trains and Worlds. We've got 2 London Overground lines. You've got the Goblin and the... Oh, what's the line called? Like I said, they rebranded all the London Overground lines. I must admit to this, I still don't actually know what they're called, because I don't really use them too often, the Overground. It's not a part of London that I ever need to go to, where they go to. Here's the Windrush line. It's featured. There's 2 Overground lines. I'll figure out what they're called in a second. Well, I'm sure you guys in the chat probably tell. Yeah, what are they called in chat? Yeah, the 2 Overground lines. It's Windrush and Suffragettes, I want to say the 2. Right, well, door release. Okay, not perfect stopping, but better than last time. Also, I can't get through this. There we go. You got all the adverts up there as well. Sadly, no tube maps. Is it no tube map? No seat maquettes. Ah, there's a whistle there from the AI train. It's still underground, or is that a cab? Yeah, apart from these little cab ends, because of course they're two-car trains, so they've got to try and fit them in one way or another. Right, let's close the doors. Let's do a Heathrow Connect run. Close. Right, what do you get? Platinum medal. Platinum I'll take. One bit of speeding on the way down, but otherwise, yeah, much nicer run than before. 35 points lost for speeding. A much higher accuracy bonus. On time bonus pretty good. Yeah, all standard stuff. 5 yards, 1 yard. Better than last time. Right, back to the timetable. Let's do our last forerun of this DLC for today. We've what, just shy of 2 hours now streaming. Yeah. Right, where are we? Going to the 2000. We've got cross-country voyages here. I don't think. Yeah, Reading to Reading. Empty stop movements from Reading to Kennet Bridge Loop. Kennet Bridge Loop, yeah, 3 minutes, 4 minutes long. They're not massive. We could do one, I guess. They're not super long. But for now, Class 350 in Station Connect Livery, I think they're called. What's this? So what's coming down south? London Euston to Milton Keynes. That's the route they're in. Oh, there you go. Airport Connect. So there's one officially called Airport Connect, which I think we'll just pick that one because that's simplicity. Start at Paddington to Heathrow. Let's do an early morning run. Why not? London Paddington Heathrow Airport. 21 minutes. 7:30 AM. So kind of start the early rush. Yeah, we could do conductor mode, but why check tickets when we can actually drive the train ourselves? Cool, so here we are at Paddington. We're going to start from media starting the master key. Trains are forward and release doors on the left hand side. We will activate safety systems, always important, and headlights come to forward. Daytime lights, which is everyone the headlights are on this train. There we go, headlights, daylights. Quick jump over to the screen over here. Once I log in with our driver ID and number, which is going to be 1337667. I don't know, with our driver ID is 6767. Accepts that. That will put the driver ID up there. Everything's pretty good. So yeah, so the panel itself, if I go back into it, actually just gives you the details. So lighting wise, I can see that our front daylights are all set, rear tail lights are active. If I go interior lighting, at the moment instrument lighting is set. I could probably turn on the cabin lighting. There we go. That's all set. Back to the front, brake system, this gives you braking system information, which I don't really need at the moment. Door system, all doors are currently open. Yeah, it's all just your basic driving details. If we head outside, you see we've got our orange and white old TfL rail colours. Heathrow at the front, headlights all set, train level looking good. Platform 11 here at Paddington. It's a beautiful, beautiful roof here at the station. One of my favourites. So my favourite is St Pancras International. That's got a gorgeous roof, but Paddington's definitely up there. That, though, I believe is the main train hall roof over there. Alright, let's rush back to the train and prepare it for departure. Take a seat. Left-hand doors close. Wish our cabin lights to turn on, which they did. And let us get out of here. So Brakes to release. Train to forward. So with the airport connector route, Heathrow Connect routes, it effectively runs through all the stops between here and Hayes and Harlington. And historically, this was always the cheap train out of Heathrow. So you had the Heathrow Express, which is the premium service, runs into Paddington direct. Heathrow Connect stops at the stations intermediary. So we'll be talking Ealing Broadway, West Ealing, Hanwell, Southall, and Hayes and Harlington. Where they let someone else take over the train all the way into Heathrow Central and Terminal 4 or 5. It says Heathrow on the front, but I don't actually know which Heathrow. If I go into the cabin, actually. So yeah, train's bound for Heathrow Airport. No space there. It doesn't say which terminal we're actually bound to, so yeah, just one of the Heathrow terminals. We're up to 40 miles per hour. Do we stop at... Oh, so we don't stop at Max Main Line, or do we stop at Hanwell? So this is still let's say, still pre-Elizabeth Line, still pre-TFR, still pre-platform expansions. So presumably we're what, for a 4-car train? 5-car. So we'll be, yeah, pretty much on the edge of what the platform lengths that those sections will allow. The HST to our right. Speed up to 50 miles per hour. Not accelerating too much, I will say. Speed 0. Bring it back. There we go. That's more like it. That's acceleration. So allow trains just to increase speeds. Once again, just keep an eye on the speed limits. We're effectively driving the reverse now with our trip from Reading in the 165. But on the electric traction, slightly better acceleration, slightly better braking. And only as far as Hayes. So it's only a 20 odd minute run this. Up to 80 miles per hour. Morning sunrise ahead of us. Sun does actually rise from behind us, east to west. I think it's still below the horizon at this point. And so once again, it's a train that has the correct livery to the old Heathrow Connect service back in the day. Just going to try and find a picture of it. There you go, so that was the old Heathrow Connect back in the day. But there's no logo there. That's the Class 360 as opposed to the 350. That eventually became TfL Rail, and then from TfL Rail was also the first leg of the old Elizabeth line. So 2018. So this is 2017. From next year, Heathrow Connect became TfL Rail. And the Class 345s got introduced, replacing these old units. And the rest, as I say, is history. Yeah, having the reworked lighting in this route does just look gorgeous. I mean, even just the glow in the sky, how red it is. If I had a HDR active monitor, it'd be even better. Yeah, I don't need to brake as early with this at all. It's so much better slowing down. Yeah, if I had a HDR active monitor, I think it's looking 10 times better. But yeah, it really is gorgeous. The FPS. Yeah, running at around 30. You can see it does stutter a little bit. That's probably more down to my system rather than anything. For some reason, I'm running an RTX 3080 with 32 gigs of RAM. The RTX 3080, of course, only has 8 gigs of VRAM. I always find myself maxing that out pretty much at any instance. I mean, OBS, of course, is a very CPU-heavy software, plus uses the GPU for 3D and video rendering. But, I don't know, 8 gigs of VRAM just never seemed enough for me. So at some point soon, I wouldn't mind giving the upgrade to a graphics card. So now arriving at Ealing Broadway. Doors release left. You got 755 Greenford service behind us again. See, so many services like that just don't run out of Paddington. Apart from, I'm trying to think now. So the first train that runs out of Reading, it's like the 0355, gets to Paddington around 5 o'clock. It's like 5:15. The train then runs to Greenford the first time. So yeah, it's a little outdated timetable, but still matches that 2017. Alright, that was behind the yellow lines. Train safe to dispatch. Next station, West Ealing. Nope, HST. Alright, well, we're going too long in the view because I know West Ealing, as per the last run we did, we almost stopped it by accident, is just up the road. So actually, I'd be curious to know if West Ealing has also got the old milk platform modelled in this. So nowadays, West Ealing has got there's 3 platform faces. I don't think there's a high-speed platform face. If there is, you've got an island one, but not an edge one. We'll have when we get there. But you also had the old milk platform, where the tracks in and out of that, where it used to be, went on to become the Great Western Greenford branched Bay platform, and also the Chiltern parliamentary service for that became a bus replacement. Whoops, wrong way. There we go. Doors release left. Back into external cam. Yeah, okay, nothing there. So, of course, if I go down here, all the old staircases are long gone. There's a new footbridge about here-ish, which goes ahead with lifts and stairs. And then all this walkway got knocked down, and is now the access to the station building, which is now on the corner of this road here. The parliamentary bus leaves out front here. There was an old platform alongside here, which isn't modelled, where the old milk platform used to be. And then the tracks now run down and terminate not too far actually from where it terminates here, which is where the building over there is. And that forms the Greenford branch. If we then depart and just keep an eye to our right hand side, we should be able to see where the so in this case see where the crossover is here. So train branches over to the right and branches right again. On the map, that's where trains then triangulate up past this siding here. Western sidings. That's straight and green. And then, yeah, trains just continue up beyond that. Right, next station, Hanwell. Oh, so we also pick a Hanwell. Hanwell, Southall, Hayes and Harlington. We have cab lighting on. If I can turn that off, perhaps. There's a button back here. Cab lighting. That is off. Fair enough. So this is Station Hanwell that got massively revitalised when the Elizabeth line came through it. Went from about 3 trains a day to a train every 15 minutes. But so they've kept the old lampshades. They look gorgeous. Hanging baskets, flowers. A very bit of a new lift, which is kind of just hanging off the end of this building here. See, the building itself is... Does the camera make sound effects to go through the tree? Okay. Yeah, see, so the building, which is massively raised off of ground level. And so it's a fair few flights of stairs to get up here. But it's, yeah, absolutely gorgeous building. Gorgeous station from the old original Great Western era. Right, next stop, Southall. Bit of a slow accelerator when you put the power in.
Please be.
Got Discord call. I suppose it actually popped up with the stream mode set. Shouldn't be texting and driving. So yeah, Southall, where you get a lot of the freight yards and all the more industrial part of West London. At least not so industrial now. A lot of it regenerated into modern housing and new builds. But yeah, Southall and Hayes, whereas where a lot of West London's industry used to be based. Well, the majority of production was over in east as opposed to west. So the old Docklands, the old Isle of Dogs, and down Kent Way. Yeah, a lot of production, a lot of construction happened that part of the UK. It's become very orange all of a sudden. I see it. Is that the sun trying to break through? Yeah, that's the sun trying to break through. Very orange sky, that. Oh, and it's raining now. Nope, not going to make it. Paying no attention to the route whatsoever there. Now, well, Hayes and Harlington next, our penultimate stop. Well, it's our final stop for this this route. Right, so Hayes and Harlington. So we might do a cross country quick. The route has there the loop. If not, we'll do a quick run of. We'll have a look at the steam train, and then we'll do a finale 166. We won't do the full run in the 166 in the class 66. Sorry, the sheds, but just get out of the yard onto the main line and just drive down the track a little bit. Because, like I say, we've now on for about 2.25 hours. Yeah, rain's getting a little bit heavier now. Oh, and there goes the beautiful sky. It's now just going to be grey and rainy. Classic British weather, alright? From absolutely gorgeous clear skies and orange glow and... yeah, just this now. Wet. Does mean I've got to be a little bit more careful with the braking, especially because it's going to be slippery rail now. Especially as knowing that with these transport scenarios, since we terminate at Hayes and Harlington, it doesn't mean we're going to go right into a red signal, so better come a bit slower and a bit later than just to rush away ourselves into Hayes and Harlington. So last little bit here. Yeah, rain's getting heavier and heavier. Nice and gentle. And also, I like how bright these signals are when you do approach them. Alright, release doors. I assume there's a relief driver waiting for me in the shade who will be taking the train on to Heathrow. Here you got inbounds coming into Paddington as well. So look how much faster that one's coming in compared to what I can attempt to do with my terrible braking. These air drivers need nothing. And in this weather as well, mate, you gotta be careful with the wheel slip. So there we have it. That's the end of our Heathrow Connect run. So again, stopping distance apart from Southall, we ignore Southall, wasn't too bad. Gold medal, yeah, probably the stopping distance there. No, otherwise pretty good. No speeding this time. We kept well below speed limits for the entirety of the run. Yeah, not too bad. Go to the timetable. Was it 3 minutes for the cross country route? We'll do a quick cross country. But first, we'll do the we'll look at the steam train. No idea how they work. No idea how to drive them. So don't expect it to move particularly far. But we won't do a full run in it. Let's go back. Steam train is Flying Scotsman. Salisbury's Paddington, Paddington Salisbury, Southall Depot to Paddington, prepare rail tour for service. Unless that's a scenario as opposed to a timetable to run. Could be. Right, prepare rail time to Southall. So welcome to Southall. There's our steam train, there's our carriages. Yeah, it's a very common sight for early morning here at Southall. Right, okay. I know the brake, right, the brake's fairly standard, that I get. Okay, we're doing it. I'm sure someone in chat's having a heart attack at the moment with how I'm driving it, but it's driving. Ooh. Okay, I mean, I guess that's correct. Switch the lever there, switch the lever straight so it goes into the sidings. Right, now we turn to backwards. There we go. Not sure the blower is supposed to be on the little whistle there. Got no visibility of the rear of this train whatsoever. But we should probably think about slowing down now. Okay. Right, stop at location Southall Depot Junction. Okay. Any movement would be nice. No, no. Like a separate parking brake is there in this. 'Cause we're trying to... Ah! Ha 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 ha! Okay. And where are we supposed to stop? Oh, we've coupled too early, so actually we couldn't even complete the mission if we wanted to. But there you go, we've coupled some coaches. Yeah, regardless of how it's now, I mean, I can try and stop in the right location, but it might just lead to a spad. Yeah, we'll leave it at that before we give somebody a heart attack. Right, we'll do a quick run of the Voyager, and then we'll hop on to the shed, the 66. Alright, so to the trains, choose a route, Great Western. So many lines that I still need to showcase and show off at Dovetail. They keep giving me, but I never actually go and do them. It is terrible of me. It is. Right, where are we? Cross country, Riviera. Alright, drive to end-stop movement from Reading to Kennet Bridge Loop. 4 minutes. It's not particularly long. Right, let's begin, shall we? So, master key on, train to forwards, waits for a moment while pushing signal changes. So wait till 16, and then stop at location Kennet Bridge Loop, which is, I believe, somewhere down there. As you can set 5 Echo 5 6. It's a 3-minute it's a 3-minute mission, of which a quarter of it is just waiting for the signals to change. Probably set the headlights. It's a 4-car cross-country Voyager. Set you to daylights. One of the few, actually, I've had a few cross-country services in the past. It's been a little while since I last went on one. Most recent was a trip back from Darlington, where I got a cross-country down to York, spent a day at the NRM, before then going from York to King's Cross on a Grand Central train. So it was a day of open access carriers on the way back down. Grand Central got some nice trains, the Meridians. Comfy, at least from the passenger perspective, although not the easy to operate I've heard. So we've got a red signal into 600, 500 yards. Stopping 1.3 miles. Okay, so the signal does need to change for us at some point. So I think this is just a regular Voyager, a 2-2. Is this 221 or 222? This is 2-2. A 220, sorry, is it? This is just a regular Voyager, so no tilting on it. Red. Are we waiting for anything, or okay, that's where we're going to? Sorry, there you go. Okay, Ridge Loop. We're trying to turn. Drive changes ends and drives back again. Do I need to speak to a signaller to get past it, or if we change tracks? Is there another train that's leaving or arriving? Ah, you. We've got to wait for 2 November 4-4 to pass first. So again, nice and gentle, pull up to the red signal. then just gotta wait for the train to pass so that we can then enter and cross the lines. This is fun. Yeah, I mean, this route isn't, I guess, built so much for the cross-country service because they only go as far as Reading and back. But again, it's like the if you go to Peterborough on the LNER route, and then you get the Thameslink that turnarounds over there. It's just this is a nice little extra. It's an extra layer, bit of AI service in the background. There you go, 1 mile to stop. That's a 40-mile-per-hour crossover junction. We're happy at 30 for now. Very shortly, cross back over again, then just ditch it in the sidings. There we go. 25 actually, so I need to slow down a bit. And just bring it to halt before the red signal. Beautifully done. There we go. That's that. Yeah, short little mission, and then the train will just sit here for a little while. So if I were to continue into free roam, I'd basically just sit. So if I go into timetable, eventually the train will then reverse back into Reading Station, but I can imagine it's a little bit of a wait before the train is allowed to do that. We'll just double check in the timetable once it loads back up. So I go part 2. So part 2, yes, it's a 15-minute, 20-minute stop before we then return back to the platform. So last little run. Let us do. It's got to be EWS, surely. Go for the dirty, the brown. Southall's Paddington. Southall Paddington. Oh, it's a rail tour. Oh, that's gonna be the back of the steam train. Now I want to do Hayes-Sarling sidings to East Usk. Empty HOA freight trains. Yeah, go on. So we won't complete the full route of this one, but we'll get it started. Just move out the siding onto the main line, and then we'll do a little kind of finale closing bit for this add-on. Because driving to Reading and back it's all you got already in terms of the scenarios, or in terms of the route itself. But again, if you like your variety, this will always be one of my favourites. Yeah, modern train sim mod routes do give you the ability to branch out into different lines and different areas and that stuff. So the modern routes are better in terms of what they give you. Like the Cardiff lines are excellent. They branch out into pretty much everything. Can you turn that on? No, nothing's simulated. So wait a minute, wait for the signals go green, and then we shall prepare ourselves a departure. Finds the headlights on this train again. They are... don't think they're automatic. Yeah, it's all fine. Those are starting switches to get trains up and running, if you remember from the original release. Headlights, headlights, headlights. There. Nope, hot light. Ah! Right there. Alright, daytime lights, tail lights are off because they're going to be at the back. Instrument lights. Yeah, because I know on cab lights. Don't really need them, do we? Right, let's do this. So we're going to release the automatic brake. Apply a bit of throttle. And there we go. $66099. Nice, nice little unit number to end this one on. So 66 being a modified version of the 65, which is the original like main freight train that was being introduced to the UK. 66 is being bigger and slightly more powerful than 65s, although 65s do still run a fair bit around the UK. Have you ever seen one personally? 66 is every other week. I see way too many of these. It's a train that avoids wants to ride on the passengers. You know, let's say it's a rail tour. I'd love to do a 66 rail tour at some point. Get an idea what the what my freight feels like running. Right, so it's 25 miles per hour on this bit, so we'll need to reduce the throttle shortly. Now I presume we'll stay at 25 until we cross over to the left-hand track. Oh no, 60. Is it cross over at Heathrow Junction? Yes, yes it is. We'll leave it at 25. I see the points on left there are at 30, so actually you could probably do 30 then. Oh, 60 mile per hour crossing, okay. Oh, full throttle it is. Do we stay on the slow line, or do we cross over to the fast lines? I believe we do cross over to the fast tracks. No? We stay here. Yep. That's where we remain. So, I think that's where we're going to leave it now, because we've been, what, live for, yeah, over 2.5 hours now, 2 hours 45. And we've seen pretty much everything there is to explore in an initial playthrough. Of course, there are going to be scenarios and missions stuff out at some point we might do for this channel, we'll see. But yeah, that is our first look at the Train Sim World 6 Great Western Express Remaster. Thank you, Heathrow Junction, for blocking the train there. I do appreciate it. There we go. So, let's say it comes out tomorrow officially. If you already have Train Sim World's Great Western Express, then this is a... Let's just move the camera over here somewhere. So if you've already got the Great Western Express, then the remaster you get for free, so no need to pay for anything extra. All the extra services get different layers on top of the defaults and all that, so yeah, it's a nice little update. It's free. I like the Great Western Express, and it's nice to see a bit of love coming its way with the new remaster. So yeah, that brings that to an end. hope you guys enjoyed this little first look. Do leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you already. Thank you very much for watching. Back again probably tomorrow for a Flight Sim stream. And thank you again, Dovetail Games, for continuing to pile me with all this stuff to promote and showcase, which finally I have done. It's good to be back. Slippy's doing this again, so I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Have a good one. Bye bye. It's always a try. It's always something. Always something in the way.